Alright, what's going on guys, it's Lone Courier here, and I know I'm super inactive on this channel, but you know, I don't really want to post many Call of Duty videos these days, and well, I stopped posting Call of Duty content on my own channel, so I figured I may as well post some more videos on this channel, which I will be a bit more active when Infinite Warfare finally drops. So yeah, I hope you guys are kind of excited for that. I mean, I doubt it, to be honest, but yeah, what I want to talk to you guys today about is the title of the video. Now, the title of this video, Call of Duty killed Call of Duty, and now a lot of you are going to be like, what do you mean? Well, the reason why I think that did happen is obviously I've told you guys before, like when I started playing COD, I started playing back in MW2, well, like seriously playing like multiplayer, because I did play the Call of Duty games before then. You know, I played like COD Finest Hour, COD 3, Modern Warfare 1, and then World at War, but MW2 was definitely the game that like got me hooked on the franchise. And if you look back at those games, I'll admit they're not exactly the highest of quality, but you know, if you look at the community nowadays, everybody just sort of longs for a game like that, you know? People don't want this new futuristic stuff, people don't want supply drops, people don't want that sort of stuff. What people want is games more like MW2. Now, I think that's the reason why Call of Duty is going downhill so much now. Because, well, if you look what the fanbase wants, it's really not what we're getting at all. Now, I think a lot of that's just due to the fact that a lot of people just don't want to admit that the franchise will change eventually, because let's be honest, every single game franchise will change at some point. It doesn't matter where you like the fact that it changed or not, every game changes eventually, and Call of Duty's kind of reached that point. Well, over the last couple of years it has, because a lot of people like to forget this fact, but you know, back in like MW2, well, not really MW2, I'd say probably by about the time Black Ops 1 came out, everybody was getting sick of World War II games, especially when World at War came out, because we had Modern Warfare, and then we got like World at War, and everyone was like, oh come on, for fuck's sakes, you know, we've had fuck knows how many World War II games, and finally we get Modern Warfare, and Treyarch's just going to make another World War II game. Now, a lot of people like to dismiss that fact, but that seriously was the case back then. There was a lot of backlash against Treyarch for making another World War II game, considering they didn't really do a good job on COD 3. I mean, a lot of people like to say it was a good game, but I'm going to be completely honest here. I played it back in the day when it came out, and it was terrible. Seriously terrible game. And, you know, it's just it went back to World War II. And another thing as well, like, that people seem to forget is back then, World War II games were literally a dime a dozen. You had hundreds of World War II games coming out back then. It was the major trend back then. Obviously how nowadays the futuristic games are the trend, back then it was World War II. And we were all getting sick of World War II games, because you had like Band of Brothers, Hell's Highway coming out at the same time that World at War came out, and then you had Medal of Honor, which had like 1,000,000 games which are all set in World War II, and it was getting so stale and boring and repetitive at the time of these World War II games. Sure, World War II is a good setting for a game, but when you've got that many games, it's hard to make something new set in World War II. Now, obviously the reason why they took it into the future, or at least a modern setting, is because you can really make your own story. You know, you go back to World War II, you have to keep it within the confines of something that could have happened back in World War II. You're not going to have orbital space station gunfights going on, because that shit never existed in World War II. You know what I'm saying here? Like, you've got a lot more creative freedom to write some sort of game that you want to write when you're not using it in a past tense setting. And it's just, you can see why the developers took it into the future, because, well, you can literally do whatever you want, you know. You can set your game in space, as Infinity Ward have done this year. You can set your game where most of the soldiers are all cybernetically augmented, and they've all got like fucking augmented like limbs and shit. You know, you can do whatever you want, and that's pretty cool within itself. But I think people are just holding Call of Duty to the standards it was back then. Now, let's be honest, the standards back then weren't extremely high. I mean, sure, these games are still good nowadays, but it's just, yeah, you know, people are expecting it to be an MW2. People are expecting Infinite Warfare to be a Modern Warfare 2 level of game, but they're not willing to give it a chance. And that's why I think Call of Duty killed Call of Duty, because you've got these old games that nobody wants to let go of, and it's like, well, you kind of have to let go at some point, you know? Like, because evolution is a necessary thing within gaming. If you don't have evolution, you're going to have the same game year in, year out. And you don't want the same game year in, year out. Because if you get that, you're going to get sick of it. And guess what? You're going to ask for a different setting. Believe it or not, you know? Such as people are asking for World War II games right now, or Modern Warfare games right now. People were asking to stop making World War II games because there was too many of them. You know, it's just the way the gaming industry goes. It's in the, you know, like a setting might rise in popularity and then it'll dip in popularity and then it'll come back eventually. Such as how World War II games were a shit like 10 years ago, and then they kind of died off a bit, and you know, people want them to come back, and it's like, you were all sick of them 10 years ago and now you're complaining about wanting more of them, you know? I mean, personally, I wouldn't mind another World War II set Call of Duty game, but if we're not going to get another, well, all I'm going to ask for is a remaster. That's it. You know? It's just... you can't have so many games in the same time period without the games getting repetitive. Now, I get people's frustrations with the futuristic games, I'll admit, but to be honest, it's not the setting. It's just the gameplay, you know? I get that people don't like jetpacks, but here's the thing. You can still have a futuristic Call of Duty game that still plays like Modern Warfare, you know? Just it has jetpacks in it. I think it's honestly just a large part of the Call of Duty community are just... they're... I hate to say this, but quite narrow-minded, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to accept changes. They don't want to try out new things because they're so, like, just... fucking tribal in nature, you know? They want it simplistic, they want it what they know, like they want more of what they know, and if it's something different and new, they hate it, you know? And it's like, wow, Call of Duty community is so backwards at times, you know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why I got so frustrated with it, because you get these kids whining and moaning about the games are the same thing every single year, and then they ask for another game that's set in a setting that we've already had millions of games in, and it's like, well, you're asking for a new game, like a new setting, but it's not a new setting. There's already been a million games in that series, well, in that setting, you know what I'm saying? You're all probably getting sick of hearing that, but yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. There's been some Gears of War 4 gameplay in the background, by the way, some 50 plus on Harbour on King of the Hill on Gears 4. Really enjoying that game right now. The reason why I chose Gears of War 4 gameplay over like Call of Duty or something is because, well, Gears of War has gone for a similar thing quite recently. The game's changed quite a lot and a lot of people seem to not like it. But yeah, and pretty much the main reason for it is because I don't have Call of Duty gameplay on my computer right now, because, well, I deleted all my Black Ops 3 gameplays because I can't stand watching Black Ops 3 gameplay myself, and yeah, I kind of felt like posting something different, you know, because I guarantee there won't be another video on this channel with Gears of War 4, and so I felt like showing you guys some of it, because I love the game right now, and to be honest, I'm not going to touch another Call of Duty game until, well, Infinite Warfare comes out, and if that game sucks, I suppose I may as well go back and play World at War and Black Ops on backwards compatibility. But yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed the video. It's been a Lone Courier. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more classic commentaries, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Well, you won't see me in the next one, because guaranteed it'll be someone else, but yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.